I'm not going to leave. All right, you tell me when we're ready.
You're ready. You're on.
So I'm with my longtime friend, Than Merrill, founder of Fortune Builders. You probably see him on TV all the time. Hey, out of curiosity, when did I first meet you? I know I met you in Tampa at Winter
We've known each other, man, like
you
10
were still
plus years.
You were still living up in Connecticut. I don't even know if you guys had the education. You may have just started the education company.
A long time ago. This is when my hairline was down here. There was no grays.
Oh, I get it.
Now look at us. We're a bunch of old farts.
I know. So how long have you been in real estate investing?
I've been in real estate investing for 15 years.
15 years. How long have you had the real estate education business?
We've had the education business for over 10 now, and it really the last 7 years it's kind of taken off. But yeah, man, I've been doing this for a long time. Same as you. We're old now. I don't know if you knew that.
So here's my question. So how many employees are you guys up to now? It's a bunch.
So we have a lot of different companies, but we have 500 total employees amongst all the different companies that we have. And
I know a course of a year, how many seminars do you guys do? I know it's
we do a lot. We do a lot of educational events all around the country. Pretty much 40 out of 50 states or so.
Literally every time I travel, I'm literally seeing him on TV. So here's my question: how does a person, you started with your partners flipping homes, and now you've built an empire. So my question is, like, how do you go from flipping a home? Like, well, what's been the key? Like, there's a lot of guys that flip homes, and there's a lot of guys that teach real estate education. Not many guys have as many businesses, investment vehicles, education, trainers, the whole. How do you do that? How do you scale? What did you do?
Yeah.
Because you've totally separated yourself from the bunch.
I mean, like any company, you just got to have good people that you work with. You got to have create the right incentives, the right structure, and you just have to work your ass off really for a lot of years. And you know, I've learned from a lot of people over the years just different ways to manage and grow and scale the business, and we've made a lot of mistakes. And
what's been the biggest mistake that you look back, but you're glad you've learned from it?
Yeah, the biggest mistake I would say is not running the business early on. You know, we were doing too many things. We were saying yes to too many things. We were trying to take on too many different types of real estate projects, too many different, and you become scattered. And so the more focused, the more we said no to different opportunities that kind of came across our desk, the more focused we became. And that was as an entrepreneur, you're chasing shiny objects a lot early on in your career. And I'd say having the discipline to say no to a lot of things that could be successful, that maybe they're small success or moderately successful, because you end up skipping over dollars to pick up dimes. And I think that's a challenge, because you and I as entrepreneurs, we like to do new things, we like to get excited by new opportunities, and so you have to learn to say no to a lot of projects that may not fit in your wheelhouse.
So I came here today, I did a podcast earlier downstairs, an interview, and when I came, you had a food truck. It was Customer Appreciation Day, Employee Appreciation Day. What are you doing to show the employees, to retain these employees, to keep them happy?
Yeah. Well, it's always a challenge, because you want to keep things fresh and invigorating. I think one of the things that we do that our company is very unique. We're an investment company, and so we teach our team members how to invest. So not only do you have the opportunity to work here, but you also learn how to strategically invest in real estate and take care of your personal financial side, which is nice. Most companies, you might have a job and have the opportunity to earn, and so here we like to give people. We are an educational company in this building, and so showing people how to strategically invest, and if it's on a small scale, maybe they're just starting out in their career, or if they've been with us for a number of years, give them the opportunity to invest in some of the different projects that we bring forward, or projects they might find by themselves. So that's very unique about what we do.
What's your thoughts on how important relationships are to the success of your business, both dealing with employees, customers, and partners?
Very important. I've learned many things from you over the years, and I love what you talk about connection currency and connecting, figuring out how to serve other people rather than just, what can this business owner do for me? Ask the opposite question. What can I do for them? And that really unlocks the relationship and a lot of opportunities. So those are things that you've been gracious enough to share over the years.
What's your overarching philosophy just on business or entrepreneurship or management?
Overarching philosophy.
Do you have, like, for me, it's like give first, add value, always make a difference. Do you have like a Hey, let me ask you a question. You had, when I walked in the building, you have, what are your core values here?
Yeah, so we have, years ago we came up with our core values and leadership, education, inspire. You know, we're an education company, so that makes sense.
Yep.
Inspire, I think when you're working with entrepreneurs, you can't just educate somebody, you actually have to motivate them at the same time to go out there and change their life, right, from that standpoint. Ethics and integrity kind of goes without saying. That's extremely important to any company. And then one of my favorite is crush it. And that's just live life with passion. Whatever you're pursuing, do it passionately, because that attracts people to you.
By the way, when you go to their events, what's that thing that you do with the whole audience?
That's to crush it. That's to crush it.
Like
it took Larry a few times. We had to. You know,
it was the
it's a three clap.
Let's do it.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, crush it.
Okay.
So, you know, it's pretty simple.
The energy, by the way, they have 1,000 or 4,000 people. The energy is pretty good.
Yeah. Larry, you were good. You did it without the clap. You did it 1, 2. You know, so people got.
Next time I speak, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be prepared. All right, last questions. That biggest lesson that your mom taught you?
Biggest lesson. My mom taught me to every day, it doesn't matter what you did yesterday, every day you have to wake up and kind of reinvent yourself, and what matters most is what you're working on today. And I think in her business, watching her, she was a great example of that. And so I think that got instilled in me.
And what's one lesson your dad taught you?
My dad, be curious. My dad was a professor. He was very intellectual, always reading, and he was always curious. He was always asking questions and trying to figure out how things work. And so I think that was a great lesson for him.
And last two, what's your favorite book outside of your own?
Scaling Up was one of my favorite books by Vern Harnish. That's that book has tremendous for business owners. What was the other question? I forgot.
If you're going to leave one piece of advice to your two kids, what's the one or two pieces of advice you want to leave for them?
Find something that you love and try to make that your career. And if you can't find something you love, get into real estate, because you'll find love with it. All right, that's good. That'd be probably what I'd leave them.
All right, I'm cheating. One last one.
Okay.
What's one thing on your bucket list, either for you and your wife or something, or just what's a business bucket list or personal bucket list?
Take my son to the Super Bowl. That's one of my, and my daughter. Now I have a daughter too, so I got to take them both.
So how old are you going to take them at?
Probably in the next couple of years. Once they can appreciate it, they're too young.
Because I was thinking that at 2, I don't know if you're going to be able to appreciate it.
The ticket prices
it's a couple
and the
foul.
appreciate. You have to remember. So as soon as they have a working memory, you know, whatever you're 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, that's right.
That's cool. All right, so go follow him and go follow Fortune Builders. And hey, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thanks everyone for paying attention.
May you connect and grow rich.